Hi everybody, it's Anthony Carabache and I will be your online course support for this semester. I'm getting a lot of questions about discussions and questions around managing discussions through groups. Because you have inherited courses that already have discussions set up, the way we go about setting up groupings is a little bit different, takes a little bit of work, but it's worth every ounce of time that you put into it, and I'll show you why. If you do go into your course, in the top right corner, you will have a group option, or along the top, it may differ for each course, but look for that groups section. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete the current groups that I have set up so I can show you how to set them up from the beginning. Okay, so when you come to the groups, you're going to create a new category. So all of D2L's buttons, their action buttons are blue, and you'll call this your discussion groupings. And you could leave the description blank, or you could say Spring 2014 groupings. Okay. Below that, you have the enrollment type, and I highly recommend that you either choose groups of a specific number or a specific number of groups. So think about your workflow, but also think about the value that your participants will have when they log on to the discussions. About 5 is a good number, I would say. So you could do groups of number 5, or you as an instructor will say, well, I don't want to pop in and out of more than 4 groupings. So you decide. In my case, I will say, for my students' sake, groups of number, and the maximum number of users is, I'll say, 5. And what D2L will do is start placing them automatically. So here, where it says group options, click on auto enroll new users. So if you have any latecomers to the course, they will be automatically enrolled. And of course, randomize the users in groups. The additional options below are for teachers that are creating or users that are creating the course as they go. So in this case, you're inheriting a course with discussions, so you wouldn't use the setup options here. All right, so simply click on Save. And you will see here on the next page, once it happens, or once your students or participants are enrolled, they will become enrolled in each grouping. So that's how you set up a grouping. That's part A, and that's easy. Now, you are going to go to your discussions and click on that discussions link at the top, and you've inherited a discussion list, right? So in most of the courses that I'm aware of, they have one forum and one topic per I guess unit or module or even subtopic. So in this course, let's say safe surfing and the Oz effect, I just have one topic. Okay, there it is. This is just below. It says topic, the Oz effect. So it doesn't make any sense to add all the groups to one topic. So I could have all of my groups discuss the same topic, but I need to give them, let's say, separate rooms. So what I will do is click on the drop down arrow and I will add a topic. Okay? And that topic will be the same, probably the same name. So let's say surface surfing. I'll call it room number 2. Okay? And then I'll click on save and new. And guess what I'll do now? I'll do surface surfing room 3. And it's good. I like the analogy of using rooms. That way I feel like I can just pop in and out of 1 or 2 discussions. And then I'll save and close because I had 3 groups in my class. So let's go back to my groups just to remind me. I have 3 groups, so I have 3 rooms. The first room was the default room. I didn't make any changes. And then room 2 and room 3. Now, what I need to do is while I'm in discussions, you click on that drop down arrow and you edit the forum. And what you're going to do now is we're going to assign those groups to those particular rooms. Okay, so we're looking for restrictions. Do you see that? So there's the restrictions. And if you scroll down, it says group and section restrictions. It's the second piece here. So restrict this forum to the following groups, and let's add groups and sections. All right. So I'm going to add group 1, 2, and 3 to the forum, and I'll save and close. So now those groups are in the forum. Now I have 3 rooms. You always have to add the groups to the forum and then go into the topic. Again, edit each topic, and now you have to assign, restrict this topic, and then add which group do you want. I want group 1 to have room number 1, and then I save and close. And then you go through it again. So let me just repeat. I'll scroll down, surface surfing room 2, I'll edit the topic, I'll click on restrictions, I'll click on restrict this topic to the following groups, add the group or section, and again, this is room 2, so it's group 2. If I forget, I can move this over, and there's my title, room 2, group 2. Perfect. Save and close. Okay, and then I could go down to the third one and add my third room. Because you're learning, it will take you a few minutes, maybe 15 minutes to do the first one. But once you get going, it really makes the experience worthwhile for both you and the participants. Save and close. Okay, now let me show you what they see. If I go to class list, as an instructor, I can now impersonate one of my students to test. Okay, so the drop down beside my student name, click on impersonate. Are you sure? Yes, I do. I am sure. And then when we go to the discussions, as a student, I will see here is my topic, and I'll never have more than 4 people in this topic with me as the 5th. All right, I hope this helps. It's Anthony Carabache. Good luck.